Do I need a chair?
No, I got that.
Good morning.
It's early, isn't it, buddy?
It's early, isn't it?
We got 17.
How many?
17.
You caught 17 fish?
Yes.
When?
16 bass and 1 bluegill.
Holy cow. Where?
Say in our secret pond. 5:26. I mean, are we too early?
I mean, we're going to wait for a while, I'd say.
Yeah, the other day, of course, the sun was shining, but they flew down about 6:20. Or 6:20.
We had one in Alabama start gobbling an hour and a half before daylight. That was crazy.
I've heard of that before, but I've never had it happen.
You ready?
Yep.
It's windy out.
Yeah.
How old are you?
7.
You're 7? Are you excited to go turkey hunting? Me too. Me and Daddy love turkey hunting. You know, we was about your age whenever Paul was taking us. Alright guys, it's the second day of Missouri youth season. I come in this morning back home here in Missouri to go with my cousin Brandon and his son Bennett. We just got out here to the blind. Brandon's got a blind set up in this little pasture here. He's been watching these 3 gobblers and a bunch of hens out here in this pasture every day for the last week or so. It rained all day yesterday. It was real nasty. But this morning, it looks like it's gonna break clear. I love being home for youth season. I know so many family and friends that I just grew up with that are within the community that are taking their new hunters out today. So hopefully lots of youth hunters get into some turkeys. Brandon's got the decoy set up, so we're gonna get in this blind and just wait for it to get daylight. Second behind, try to put your arm. Remember, don't put your hand on the trigger, but put your hand up there on the gun like you're gonna shoot it, okay? How's that feel, Dad? Does it feel alright? Okay. Did you hear him? Did you hear him? Where was he at? That's a good job. Point to where was he at? Dang it, he wasn't very daggum far. Oh, he's right there. He's at him. I think he's in this tree right over here. Oh, you're good, buddy. Just draw it. Oh, did you hear him? Boy, Bennett, he's right there. Oh, wow, we need to get ready. He's coming. Yep. Here they come. What, buddy? They're down that field here. Just watch. They're flying. They just flew down out of the trees. Oh, here comes another one. See him? Look, got that. They're flying down out in that field, boys. Just watch. We just had a bunch of turkeys fly out in this field right here. They're just over a little rise, and we still got another gobbler over here across the creek from us gobbling. Oh, there he is on top of the ridge, Bennett. Straight across from us. I see him up there strutting. He's right on top of the hill. He's looking hard right at us. Right up on the hill. Just be still. Maybe he'll see me. There he just gobbled. See him up there? See him, Bennett? Huh? He's walking to the right. Here he comes. He's walking to the right. See him up there, Brandon? You'll see him. He's a black dye. He's right on top of the hill. He's coming to the right. Right up on top of the hill. Put your head up. Right there.
See? I see. Where? Right over Bennett's gun. Right over the GoPro. See him coming down?
Coming down the hill. Yep.
Just try it in a minute. Do you feel good? You gotta point it right at him. At the decoy. Just get ready. I think he's coming.
There he is, strutting, boy. See him?
Look right here.
He's coming out.
See
Don't
right
move
there?
much.
Look right there. See him strutting, Bennett. See him, Bennett. Look right at the window. Don't move much. You try to call to him, Bennett. Look right here. Aaron. Bennett right there. See his tail fan. See him, Bennett?
Yeah, I think he did. Oh, yes, yes, yeah.
What's that?
I see him.
Yeah.
See him, Bennett, strutting? He's looking hard, isn't he? He kind of acts like he wants to
Just stay
stay
right there. He's just gobbling it.
Yeah, I see him.
He's pretty, isn't he?
See his tail fan, buddy?
Still see him.
I don't see him now. He kind of went over that hill. I don't think he's going to come in. I don't think he wants any part of that decoy. We saw that one big gobbler. He came in and came across the field, but he didn't want to come into that decoy, did he?
No.
He didn't want to mess with him.
Mm-mm.
He's still gobbling up there by the truck, so we're going to slide back out of here and see if we can strike him up. Call him in. Are you going to call?
Yeah.
No? What, Brandon?
Get up here. Stay low, stay low. Right there, you can see the fans.
Yeah. They're in the pasture, ain't they?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
Must
So we
be.
might just go around here.
All right.
Stop it, man. Just let them bite. It's way too far. Definitely nervous about it. Yeah, that's all she wrote. Nope. Jigs up, boys.
Right up here's where that gobbler came in a while ago. You can see Brandon back there at the tree, right there. That sun is hitting him. He's pretty open. That's where him and Bennett were set up. That's what that bird saw, I think. He come up over this ridge and he saw the decoy out in here, but he also saw us set up against that tree. Now if you look, watch him move into these shadows right here. He's gonna move and get in those cedars. He's gonna disappear. And in hindsight, that's where we should have been set up. We'd have been in those cedars right there in those shadows where he's at right now. That bird might have committed and walked right into our decoy. Well, that's gonna do it for the morning.
Mhm.
You cold? Ready to get something to eat?
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun, did you?
Mhm.
We saw some turkeys. We got really close right here in this field. Oh, I'm about to fall over. We were down there in that blind as y'all saw, and we had that bird come in early, but he didn't want to commit to the decoy. It was kind of a jumble. We popped out of that blind, we come up in this field. Brandon spotted these turkeys up here, so we just piled into the first tree that we could, and I snuck that decoy out here on this hill. And y'all saw the turkey come in. He came in about 50 yards for Bennett and just stood at the top of this hill. But as you can see in the footage, we were set up against that tree down there with the sun hitting us at the side. And I think that's what that turkey saw. But did you see when Dad went into the cedars there in the shadows, how he disappeared with his camouflage on? But that's part of turkey hunting, man. At least we got to see him and we got to learn something, right?
Mhm.
Thanks, Dad.
You hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go eat.
Oh. Hi. 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 Hi, Ellen. Hey, that's watch.
Hi, Garrison.
Watch.
Did you get my THP hat?
Yeah.
A little bit of marketing there, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna have to break out a new one. I'm getting this one kind of warm. I might have to get me a new style hoodie too.
Well, guys, I went with Bennett and Brandon this morning, obviously, and we had us a good time. Didn't get a turkey, but got real close. And Bennett said he wanted to go turkey hunting again, so that's a win. I came down here to the farm, though. Me and Dad are gonna run up here and check this trail camera. We run a trail camera up here in this food plot all year long. And if you've watched our videos for any amount of time, you guys have seen us kill several turkeys up here on this food plot over the years. Our farm isn't a great deer hunting area, but it's awesome for turkeys. And we're gonna work on it even more in the next year. My grandpa bought this place back in the late 70s, so I've basically hunted here all my life, as you guys are probably well aware if you've watched these videos. But one thing we were talking to Dr. Chamberlain about recently was turkey habitat. And if everybody does their part as far as habitat goes on some kind of private ground that they can get access to, the turkeys would be way, way better off. 15-20 years ago, Dad and I started planting this strip up here. You can see it behind me that runs down through here. There's nice green clover coming up in it. He mows it occasionally to kind of bounce that clover back. But we usually plant it in some sort of brassicas, clovers, wheat. We've put it in milo before. We've put it in soybeans once, I think. And when we started planting this strip up here, thin, narrow strip down through the timber, we noticed an uptick in the quality of turkey hunting that we had. I think just because we kind of sweetened the property up a little bit. But we weren't just planting a food plot during that time. We also started rotationally burning that front field out there, which is what I was just filming a few minutes ago that leads down there to the house. It's about 15 to 16 acres. And it's a mixture of like fescue, warm season grasses, other CRP and stuff like that. But we're planning to burn that this year. Except this time around, I'm going to show you guys that whole process. There's a number of different things you can do to make your property better for turkey hunting. I mean, you can monitor your harvest pressure and the amount of hunting that you're doing, the amount of birds that you're taking off the property. That's kind of an easy one to do. Predators is another hot topic nowadays, and as y'all will see from this trail camera pull, we have a lot of bobcats on this place. It's definitely increased in the last 15 years because we've been running camera here for a couple decades. And the amount of bobcats that we have on this thing is ridiculous. There's just a lot of cats coming through this little draw right here where this food plot is at, as you'll see from these trail camera videos. So that's another thing we're going to try to do this year. And then obviously the habitat, like I was mentioning, planting this food plot, mowing the clover, doing some timber stand improvement, and then also doing some rotational burning out here in this field. Between those three things, harvest management, predator management, and then habitat work, we can sort of sweeten the pot a little bit for turkeys, because turkeys need a ton of habitat diversity. Like that property we were on this morning with Brandon and Bennett. They got all kinds of stuff on there that's perfect for turkeys. They have open pasture, they got a creek bottom, they've got that big field out there where we saw the hen walk through with that taller grass, more CRP stuff, warm season grasses and that sort of thing. They got little thick wooded draws, wooded fence rows. All of that habitat is located in one spot, and that's really no different than what we have up here on our farm. That's why I would suspect we've got good turkey populations here. I mean, you got pictures of what, 9 birds in one group?
9 birds in a group.
Yeah, 9 gobblers this winter, and we don't have very many of hens and jakes here recently, which worries me a little bit. But there's some things you can't control. The things that we can control, like I mentioned, harvest pressure. We can do some predator management, and then we can also do habitat work. So we're going to show you that on this property in the next year. If you only do one of those things, you're not going to have near the impact as you would if you did all three. And if we do something, our neighbors do something, then that's just sort of sweetening the pot for this whole area. Do a little bit of that work in your area and you'll improve the turkey populations. Let's pull this trail camera card and see if we got any strutters.
You want me to do it again? Because I already pulled it.
You did? You pulled it? Man, I've been talking a while.
Yes, you have.
Did you change the batteries?
Batteries are good.
Huh?
Batteries are good.
Sweet. We killed most of those turkeys right there. Right up from underneath that old deer stand. I don't know what we'll have on this camera pull. I'm hoping we got a couple gobblers coming through here. But it's been pretty obvious because Dad pulls this card about every 2 weeks. You could see the winter flock of longbeards that was up here a couple months ago where there was 8, 9 birds in one group, gobblers, all of them. And then now, as we've gotten closer to spring, I think he went to getting pictures consistently of a group of 4. And in the last pull that he had, he's been getting, you know, 1 or 2 at a time, which is not uncommon. That's usually what we see in here. It's like there'll be a couple gobblers on our place most of the spring. And if we kill one, another one just seems to kind of move in. I'm assuming that that big winter group is using, all those birds together are using multiple properties within our neighborhood, and those turkeys are just kind of rotating from our place over to the neighbors and so on and so forth. But turkey season in Missouri here, regular turkey season here in Missouri, gonna start next week. We'll be after them. See you guys. Thanks for watching this video.